Oh, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. This is Life's Canvas, where we talk about matters life. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for tuning on. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that whenever we post any video, you will receive them as soon as we post it. Joining me is none other than my obvious colleague, Brian.
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm feeling great too.
The setup today, I'm liking it more.
This is the nice setup.
Yes.
We cannot be just confined in an environment where we don't get fresh air.
Especially most times when you're talking about life.
Yes.
And sometimes life happens in the outside.
Yes.
So today, it's just an introduction of us being out.
Where you get the fresh air.
Everything. So I'm hoping maybe more. We can even have interviews on the streets soon enough.
Where we'll be talking with people to tell us what they think about life.
Yeah, we get their engagements, their opinions, their suggestions.
Yes.
Sometimes also getting opinions from outside is nice.
It's very good to get what people say about life, actually.
Yeah.
Because life is full of stress. Life is full of so many things. Sometimes you need to get that ambience outside.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to feel how it feels to breathe the fresh air.
The fresh air, yeah. Sometimes you're used to confined in a certain locality.
Yes.
Indoors. So being out, it's really a nice experience, and I'm hoping also our conversation today it will be more lively.
Our conversation has been always lively because we are live. We are talking about life, actually.
This is life.
Now, when you talk about this environment thing, when you talk about human being living, you see there is somebody once who said that it is the human who can cause much more harm to their fellow human than the environment or than the nature.
I guess most probably it's us against
human. Human against human.
Yeah, man is an enemy of himself.
Man is an enemy of themselves. Actually, so you will find out that I am just the way I am, but I'm doing bad to you.
Yeah, by the
way. I'm doing bad to you, not knowing that I'm doing bad to you.
And most probably, even there's an analogy.
Yes.
Someone pointed out that when you're pointing out someone,
there
are three fingers pointing back at you.
Actually, thry pointing back at you and one pointing back, pointing upwards. Upwards.
Yeah. So you have to be careful of how you are just approaching someone.
If you live in the environments of a city or a town, and you go to the environment in the rural areas, you will realize that the nature and how even the environment outside there is much more cooler and even good, fresh than the one which is in town.
Yeah, for sure. It's proven beyond, beyond some expectations that the quality of life in the village, outside the city, it's much more better. It's
better than the life in the city.
Yeah, because for out of the city you get to enjoy air pollution is reduced.
The air is clean.
Even noise pollution is reduced.
There is no noise at all.
Yeah, there's no noise. Even the interaction of people, because in the city there's even human traffic.
When I was reading about a book, The Town, I think it was called The Town or The Market. It was in the collection of short stories, half a day. There is a person who is talking about the town. So this person came from the rural area, and then he decided to visit a town. Now, when he reached in the town, the life was totally different. People were in chaos. The traffic which you are talking about, people were moving up and down, running.
Everyone minding his business.
Everyone minding their own business, and there is not that much love in town. That is what this person was saying.
Yeah, I think even in fact, human interaction is quite different. People, the way they interact in the city and the people interact in the village. Yeah, because in the village, basically, you interact with everyone harmoniously.
Yes.
Like you meet them on the road, you have the time, you meet, you talk about something, you sharpen each other's skills well. Yeah, at least you feel that personal level, interpersonal level and skills.
Yes. How the people interact within the village, and they love each other.
They love each other. And in the city, everyone, you just meet on the road. You're good. Going to work? Yes.
And that's why the environment in town, even the nature itself, is kind of friendly.
Yeah.
Because even the human there are also friendly. You see, one thing
okay, even the environment.
The environment is friendly. Because one thing which is happening in the town, we talk about like right now they are talking about global warming. It is a thing which is affecting the entire world. And you find out that industrialization has been the cause of this. You talk about air pollution. It is the industries which are emitting so many pollutants to the environment.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, I think industrialization, which came from modernization.
Yes.
Because if you take a look at all things that came up, even technology, by the way, it has some effects. We can't brush it off.
The technology.
Yes, it has some effects because
in the effects on the environment.
Yeah, in the environment. Because the air being polluted from these companies, these industries, which are generating all these devices, generating all these chemicals, generating drinks. You know, nowadays everything is manufactured and processed.
Being manufactured and processed.
Other than in the village, where most of things are produced
from the farm. And this is where we even have, when you talk about production from the farm, we have got the human themselves have decided now that they want to do the making of the food. The GMO, the
genetically modified organisms.
This is not the real thing which actually God intended. If I may say, or the nature, let me call it nature. Let's forget about even God for a moment and say the nature itself.
Even nature itself, it's like you're cheating nature.
You're teaching, actually you are lying.
You're lying nature that things are supposed to be done this way, yet things are occurring naturally.
And that's the human. That's the making of the human. What do you think, to you who is watching or who is listening to this conversation, what do you think about the human nature or the human characteristics whereby they have decided to come and turn around the nature, turn around how things are being done? Do you validate this or how do you invalidate this, Brian?
I'll you know, it's quite different because now there's a population that needs to be catered for.
A population
that needs to be catered
for human beings.
Yes, of human beings that need to be catered for. Now, if you look at the growing population, and most of them that have migrated to the urban cities. The pressure in the urban cities, the cities, they can't handle that pressure that much. So they have
the pressure on what?
On the population.
Or the pressure on the population, the population growth.
Yes, population growth. You see, now I think as per today, Nairobi has a population of 5 million.
That is Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya.
Has a population of 5 million. During that's, I think, during the day.
During the day.
During the day. During the night is 3 million.
So the population reduces.
So if you take a span of 24 hours, Nairobi has had a population of 8 million.
8 million.
So if you and previously the population was lower, I think 2 million or 3 million. That was the population of Nairobi. So now measures have to be drafted to ensure that this population, they have a place to live. They have a place to go to school. They can work. They can excretion. They can go, lack of a better word. They have to go to the washrooms. There's a lot of things.
So do you want to tell me that due to the increase in the population, that is why we are having the environmental degradation happening and pollution and things like that?
Yeah, because if you find all this being polluted on this small city, obviously effects will just take place.
I don't think I'm agreeing with you, because when the population increases, it means the environment needs to be taken good care of, because now the manpower is even increasing.
But but you know, if they say this Nairobi can hold a certain number of population, what if you exceed that number?
Or so you are talking about in the terms of accommodating. Accommodating. So it means so many parts of the nature or of the environment will be encroached.
Will be overused.
And overused.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because that one makes sense.
Yeah, because now you'll find that there won't be land just for recreational parks. It will be turned into accommodation, offices,
rentals, buildings being erected and things like that.
Yeah. So you'll find,
and even the river banks being encroached. You see, when you talk about the river bank being encroached, at some point the nature will just talk. You see, for example,
I get you when the nature will talk on itself.
when you go and encroach a river bank, and then one day the nature starts speaking.
Yeah, for sure.
It starts raining. That is where now people start crying.
Yeah.
That is now where the human being will start crying. I remember around Lake Victoria, at some point the lake had I don't know, gone back.
Like the show was going more deeper into
the lake. Into the lake.
Okay.
Then now people decided to do what? To erect some houses, to build.
For their survival.
Yes, for their survival. Hotels they could do there. Then guess what happened?
nature spoke for itself.
That is exactly what happened. So you see, the human nature trying. I mean, if I talk about the human nature and the nature, it might contradict. But when I say the human character of trying to compete with the nature or to fight with the nature is not something. And that's why when we talk in an environment like this, it is very essential for people to understand that we need to take care of the environment.
Yeah. Because now you find that even places where they were designated for planting of trees,
yes,
that land has been turned into an industrial park.
The forest.
Yeah. Yeah. Places where it was for recreational grounds,
yes,
that land has been turned into something else. So you find that yes, nature in its own way, it's resilient. Someone said nature is resilient.
Yes.
It can hold for a while. But
when it decides,
it is coming back.
For example, wind. If you see, wind is made in such a way that it can just move freely. That is one thing. But it is also made such a way that when it finds an obstacle, it will try to reduce its movement.
By the way, I think that's how it happens with trees.
Trees, yeah.
Act as a windbreaker.
Yeah, windbreaker. So it helps control that wind. But now you see, if all the trees are cut or all the vegetations are cut and then the buildings are erected, that is where now the nature will, the nature of wind will start fighting. When it will find a block of a building on its path, it will either take it down,
destroy it.
If that building is not strong enough. And then there was a time when human being even tried to fight and build a very long building, a very tall building. A tall building to try to compete with God in some way.
God in his own way,
confuse
them
and to convert. But you see, that brings me to saying that the environment should be taken care of.
Yeah. One thing about the environment, maybe today I might be lacking the English word. Today I might be lacking the correct English.
The correct word to describe.
To describe what you want to describe what really we have done to environment, and that's why it's fighting back on us.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of sensitization needs to be done. Yeah, needs to be done regarding urban migration, because nowadays everything is done
in urban centers.
Yet you're forgetting there's a lot of land
on the rural side.
Yeah, on the rural side that is so prime for agricultural purposes, for industrialization, for all these things.
You see, I am for the opinion, as much as people are migrating actually, let the migration be, because it is in the urban areas where we have got the opportunities. Opportunities are there. So many opportunities in the urban centers where people can go and find work to do because of the industrialization which you have talked about, and as well as even trade. But now the greater population which is coming from the rural to the urban should not be living in the urban. I am for the opinion that the urban centers should be left for the administration purposes, as well as for the industrialization. But when it comes to the point of residential,
residential purposes,
we now need to go to rural. But now this one will initiate transportation.
By the way,
you will need to work from rural,
a proper transport system. That will transport
people,
laborers in everywhere. To their places of works and back to their homes.
Back from and to their homes. And if we are going to make the homes in rural centers, then it will work.
Yeah, I think transport needs to be addressed, especially in Africa, because in Europe I think it has been addressed.
Yeah,
because
it is in Africa where we have got the transport issue.
Yeah, because you find a city like London, it can hold tens of millions, but still they are able to manage their transport well.
Yes,
but here we are struggling, just like 2 million
in Africa.
Yeah, in Africa, a city holding like 3 million, it's quite a challenge.
It's a problem,
a very big problem.
And this is where now the utilities become a problem. The infrastructure become a problem. Hospitals, schools,
so all
water,
all these things, let's say, for us to manage environment well, we need to have these utilities in place to ensure everything flows on well. Okay.
Whereby even rivers, river paths are protected, forests are protected.
Yeah, for sure.
Wild animals are protected. You see in science, I think it is in science where we were learning about food chain and food webs.
Yes.
How the ecosystem align itself. Whereby they used to say, I think it was something like, the fittest will survival for
the fittest.
For the fittest. So it means the nature has a way to make only the best survive, and everybody is fitting for that. But the human has come into the ecosystem to ensure that it destroys all this.
It has destroyed how the ecosystem occurs naturally.
Occurs naturally. By one, ensuring that rivers are blocked.
By the way,
the flow of the river is not working.
It's not working.
You find that they come on the path of a river, they block it, then they get the land. And what they use this land for is erecting buildings.
Yeah, for industries, for administration purposes, and also encroachment of forestry.
Forest lands, where wild animals were supposed to stay there, and also trees and vegetations were supposed to grow there. If they don't block the river's path, what they'll do, they will redirect all the waste into the river.
For sure.
So it means even the animals which were supposed to live in the waters are dying.
So a bit of water conservation, forest management needs to be put in place to ensure the environment occurs naturally.
And this one is not going to be done by the animals. And if it has to be done by the animals, then they are the animals called human beings. So the humanity,
Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens. That is what we talk about. So when you have an environment which is well taken care of, then the ecosystem becomes so friendly. Everything becomes so friendly, and that will bring me to saying that all the bad things which the humans do to their fellow human being will come to an end.
At one point,
things will streamline.
Okay. One thing, as much as we are waiting for maybe the authorities to work on the environment, I think you as your own self, there are certain things you can do by your own.
As an individual.
Yes, as an individual.
I have a responsibility.
Yes, to take care of the environment.
And the other person also, as an individual, has the responsibility of what to do when it comes to the environment factors.
For me, two things which I was taught by an environmentalist was throwing of litter recklessly. You should avoid it.
But what do they do in the urban centers?
You eat a banana in your matatu.
You throw it somewhere.
You just throw. You open the window.
So it should be a collective responsibility of each and every individual. You start from home. How do you keep the litters? How do you keep the plastics? How do you dispose all these things? Don't wait and say that the government or somebody else will come and do it for us.
Because this environment that we live in
is us.
And the same environment will come and fight us. So let us protect it so that it can serve us for the longest time that we are alive.
That is very true. Maybe, Brian, as we are coming to an end of this conversation, I just want to let all our viewers and all our listeners to know that it is this environment which we have been given, and it is only in this environment where we are going to enjoy the face of living, the face of humanity, which is the living face. The death will come, but before we die, we must ensure that we take good care of the environment where we live. Start from where you are living right now. Ensure that you take care of trees, you take care of water bodies, you take care of the soil, you take care of the rocks, you take care of make the environment clean, and all is going to be well.
Yes.
We will be happy.
It is your responsibility to ensure that we have a safe environment for your living and even for the generation that will come.
That is it. Take care of the environment, because Life Canvas is all about life. And we cannot live this life without having the environment where we live. Thank you for joining, and thank you for listening to us.
As always, see you on the next one.